Hello! Merc's Rain, back again. This is episode 43 of our Enigmatica 6 expert playthrough. We've been doing a lot of magic things recently, so how about we shift gears just a little bit, and we're going to take a look in here. This is the computer science section of the tech under expert, and we found this, right? These are going to be really big, resource-intensive automations. They're not going to be permanent automations, though, because these are only used for one thing, and that's to create the engineer school project. And if you remember, we need this so that we can get the medium machinery schematic, so that we can use our excavator in a tomb in order to get the Nebu ore. So we need a building to do so, and you can probably see it in the background there. That was the building that we were creating in the very beginning of this episode. Now, Aurum Vorax, I gotta show you something. You said you wanted to make this smeltery pavilion in your world, and I realized I didn't show off the coolest part. Look at the smoke! Look at the smoke up there. I don't believe I showed this off, but if we come in here, this is a dark shingle roof chimney, and you can see it just makes smoke. That's all it does. Odds are you're supposed to pair this with like actual chimney bits and whatnot, but I figured it would go well in there, leaving the hole open to make it look like we are venting stuff from the smeltery up and out. It is the most important part of the pavilion, of course. The other thing that I want to show you is, I don't believe I showed this either, the smeltery itself, on the back, we have a little access seared ladder so that we can come up here. If we need to ever access the top, we can come here, we can throw things in, we can put in our blazes like we were doing before. And so yeah, if you want to build this smelter pavilion in your world, go ahead and do so. Over here at our new building, it's keeping in the same themes as our other create building and our pneumatic craft building. In fact, it's a little bit more like the pneumatic craft building because it's not large. We're going to do like automation in here, but it's temporary automation in the sense that we're going to be crafting those things that only need one craft ever. I will, I think, plan to pull our walls out and make this like villager safe as part of our village, but as of right now, it is not villager safe. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look inside. I have a little bit of stuff set up here. If we take a peek at the first building materials, we need to make 5 of these, by the way, so we need to like run this thing through like 2,500 times. Well, technically, right, we run 1 cardboard box through 5 times, but we have to do it 5 times. We need 6 of these deployers and all of these materials. I mean, that's a lot of treated wood and all that kind of stuff. So I'm setting it up here, and we're just going to basically get the deployers set up around this track as well. And down below, we have a elevator block. Down below, we just have the same sort of thing going on in here where we have a water wheel set up. One of the big things I've changed here, and I knew it was the thing before, but if you put soul sand down on the back side, the water will push up, and so you'll actually be able to get water moving on all 4 sides of the wheel, which does give it a little bit more. These would have been 256 stress units each, but now they're at 320, and then we're just doing some crazy speed upgrades over there to make this go faster. Whee! There's something else I learned about Create, and specifically the toolbox, that is very helpful. And just to talk about the toolbox, you can easily one-click pick it up, put it down, you can access your materials out of it, and that's perfect. And you can hit this button to return all materials back in, done, just like that. But did you know that you can access the toolbox without actually clicking on it? So let's show you something over here. I want to actually change this belt a little bit. So in order to do so, I want to put in a shaft right here, but I don't have any shafts on my inventory, but there are shafts in here. So if I hold Alt, it actually opens up the toolbox menu. I can come over here and click on shaft, or just let go of Alt. And now down on my hotbar, you can actually see it has a little fancy like gold and red there, but it's put it there. It's now in my inventory. Here we are. I can put it in, and then if I hit Alt again, it just goes away and it goes right back inside the toolbox. How neat is that? This is why I wanted to move the belt a little bit. Technically, I could have the belt underneath the chest, but so we have a chest here now, and we happen to have andesite funnels. Now, I think we actually need to upgrade these, but this is the concept, right? We're going to be able to have an item go around the loop, continually getting operated on by the deployers. However, right, we don't want to continue that operation And see, here's the thing. We're not going to sit here for 500 times. We're not going to manually put one in the front and in the end. But what we absolutely want to happen is when it finishes the craft, when it becomes building materials, we no longer want it to go around the path, because I think you can actually destroy items if you were to have them on like a deployer, you know, and interact. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use a filter on this andesite funnel, and that's why I think it can't be andesite. I think it's got to be the upgraded funnel. Okay, so I have my brass funnel, and we're going to put that on there right now, and it's going to operate in the same way. One of the differences, this allows a full stack to come out, but that's okay. We're not actually too worried about letting stacks come out, and in fact, we may actually change it to only allow one item. Yeah. Okay, so this brass funnel will allow us to put a filter on here, right? So we've scrolled it to only say one item allowed. But another thing is, right, there are filters, and they're both actually really easy to make. This is iron nuggets and wool, and the other one is just brass nuggets and wool. So the difference between them is this is an attribute filter, and this is more like an item filter. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the attribute filter. Well, the thing that we actually want to filter, right, we're going to say not allowed, is going to be the building material. Now, it'd be really great if you could click and drag it in, but you can't. But what you can do is actually from this side of JEI, click and drag it in. If I put this in here, this is actually picking up an attribute of the building material, and that means, you know, the like, where it says Cube.js building materials, that's what this is. So, this doesn't really help us out very much. We don't actually want this kind of a filter at all, so we're just going to go ahead and cancel that. But on the normal filter, this actually just lets us specify an item. And this would actually let us specify lots of items, but we're just going to specify this one today. And we're going to come in here, we're going to say this is actually a deny list. Do not let the building material go through. But before we do that, let's check the allow list, because when I stick this on here, the dirt should stop going around the loop. Aha! The dirt is now stuck in the chest. And that's what we want to happen when we put it on deny list. It's going to let everything else go through. Meaning, right, it's going to let our cardboard box and then all of the middle steps of the cardboard box until it hits building materials. When it hits building materials, it's going to stop and stay in the chest. With our deployers placed, right, we need to give them power now too. So I figured we could just run out on the sides, our shafts, and then sync up, boom, the belts. But you'll notice, we have now hit our limit on how much power we have. So we actually just need to come down here and reduce the speed by 1. Pretty simple. It would seem reducing it by 1 was not quite enough. Okay, so we have unfortunately significantly slowed this down. Let's actually see if it's still going in the right direction. Alright, we are still going in the right direction. The dirt is actually stuck there because it's trying to be interacted with by the deployer. However, there isn't anything for it to do, so we're just going to take it off for now. The next thing that we need to worry about is we need to figure out how we're going to get the items in. We could put a whole stack of treated wood planks onto the first one, the second one, the third one, all of that kind of stuff. But that's only 64, and this has to go around 500 times just to do one block. So in fact, we're gonna make a little system so that we can put items in like a chest or something. Maybe a backpack, right? Because with the backpacks, we can put in stack tier upgrades, and it'll let us put more items in. That's probably the best item, or the best way to do this. And then we could simply probably run a hopper from the backpack into the deployer. So I changed my mind slightly. We're going to just use iron chests. So let's take a quick peek at the math of this. We need to make 5 of these building materials, and in order to do so, we need 10,000 whole treated wood planks, right? So if we take 10,000 and we divide it by 4, because there are 4 different input chests, okay, then we get 2,500. So we need 2,500 in each chest, and that equals just over 39 stacks. So as long as we have, you know, more than 39, so as long as we have 40 stacks in here, that's going to work. And we can easily set that up with an iron chest. And just to demonstrate that this will work, let's go ahead and put 1 piece of dirt in there. It gets sucked out, and then it gets put into the dropper, and it's ready to go. Move that out of there. We now unfortunately have the problem of getting ourselves 10,000 treated wood planks. I have actually been preparing for this a little bit, you know, not a ton, but if we take a look at the boxes behind us, we're gonna fill up this gold backpack. We actually have a lot of treated wood in here already. We don't have enough, but we have some in here, and I think this is only enough copper and everything for one craft, so we're gonna have to make sure, double check all of our math, make sure we get all of the correct numbers that we need. Let's go ahead and start moving this over here. After moving the entire contents of these 3 boxes into this 1 gold backpack, we can see that we only have 2,628 treated wood planks. I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough creosote in order to make all of the treated wood planks, but we're gonna find out. There is one additional thing here that I need to show you as well. So I have upgraded the coke oven. The oven itself is actually the same, right? So we look at it, it's just processing coal blocks. But look, there's no liquid in here, and I actually have not removed it manually recently. So let's go ahead downstairs and see what's going on. I just have this little hole in the wall now that brings us over to a dynamic tank from Mechanism, and then we just have some pretty fluid pipes with a high fluid extraction module on top, sucking everything down into this dynamic tank. When we open it, look, we actually have 391,000 millibuckets, so 391 buckets of creosote oil sitting right here, plus a full basic fluid tank. Let me show you real quick how to make this. You need one of the dynamic valves, at least one, right? Because the dynamic valve is how you input or output your liquid. So here we go, we have dynamic tanks, we have advanced PCB, fluid valve, fluid pipe, and copper valve handle. The dynamic tanks, on the other hand, right? We make this out of black sheet metal and aluminum scaffolding. The aluminum scaffolding, if we can find the base recipe, is just aluminum ingots and aluminum rods. And the black sheet metal is just any kind of sheet metal, right? So you can make copper sheet metal or iron sheet metal or whatever, aluminum, and then you just make it with black dye and it makes this. If we open up our quest book and we come down into the storage section, down here where we have liquids, you can actually come over here to the dynamic tank, and it will give you a little bit more information, right? The smallest one, which is what we made in front of us, it's only a 3x3x3 cube, hollow in the center, right? And that gives you 432, well actually it's even larger than that, so what's in the configs is different than what's in the quest book there. We can hold so much liquid in just the smallest one. However, look, you can go all the way up to an 18x18x18, which would hold all of the liquid forever. We have a problem. We're down to 12 buckets in there, and this holds 32, right? And we do not have enough of our treated wood. Okay, so this is what we have in our gold backpack right now. This is 6,288 treated wood planks. It is not the 10,000 that we need. Unfortunately, we are now out of creosote oil. We just have to let this process longer. It's going to take a while. So we're going to let that keep going, and instead of trying to craft the building materials, we might look into something different, such as the concrete, the steel scaffolding, and the clinker bricks. What's nice about the concrete is these guys right here. They trade me concrete. Oh, look, also steel scaffolding. There is one other way that we can make creosote oil. Let's go ahead and take a look, right? So this is what we're doing. We're putting blocks of coal in our coke oven, and we get 5,000 millibuckets. But there is also the pyrolyzer recipe. So block of coal coke will give us, or sorry, block of coal will give us the block of coal coke. We also get a block of tar as an additional output, and 2,250 creosote oil. So we don't get as much creosote oil from the pyrolyzer, but we do get a different output, this tar block, which can be used to make char, of course. So right here we have a pyrolyzer. We've had this for a little while. We actually have this set up to run over into here, but instead, I'm thinking we just kind of put in our big fluid cell, and we make sure that the right side is configured for input, and then we should just be able to stick in our block of coal right there. This appears to still be a very slow process. Let's go ahead and speed it up just to make sure it works as we expect it to. even at 16 times speed, it's not really budging. We'll let this go and come back and check later. Alright, quite a bit of time has passed, and you can see we're only down to 51 of these blocks of coal. I haven't been using time in a bottle on it. This is just very passive. I've actually drained this fluid tank once, but we have 9,000 more in there. Unfortunately, we are still not quite at the treated wood limit that we need. I have also been trading with that one trader over in the Create building. He also can give me a little bit of treated wood for some emeralds. So we are up to 8,360. We're getting pretty close, right? Under 2,000 to go. We do have the rest of the glass in there that's needed. We have the copper shingles, and we have our cardboard. But also, look, we have 1,500 concrete, 500 steel scaffolding, and 1,000 clinker bricks. And those are needed for the foundation material. So we actually have all of these. These are ready. So I think we should probably go get this going. But not only that, you may have noticed, landscaping materials. We actually have this ready too. This is turf. Turf is real easy. You just got to do grass. So all I did was made some shears and went over into like a plains biome and just vein mined everything and got a whole bunch of grass that way. Let's see. We also need small flowers. I made a little tiny flower farm that's very vanilla. There's nothing real special to it, so I think we're just gonna pass on it. But I did that to get a whole bunch of that, and then leaves, again, we just chopped a couple trees down and made sure to get 250. So that is the big difference, right? The foundation, this is a 500 repeat sequence. The landscaping materials is only a 250 repeat sequence. All right, so let's go ahead and get this set up in here. We're gonna do the landscaping one first. This should take the least amount of time to do, 250 sequences. We need one cardboard box in our input chest, but this will go in last. So the first 4 need turf, and we need to make sure that we get them evenly spaced out. All right, with them evenly distributed now between these 4 chests, that should be pretty decent. Next thing in that list were the small flowers, and then the final one are the leaves. Okay, so we can see it's all prepared. All the droppers have blocks in their inventory. There is one final thing that we absolutely need to do, and that is come to this brass funnel, and we gotta make sure that the filter has the right item on it. So we need to look for the landscaping material. This one, right there. And then this is gonna be on a deny list. We're not gonna let that go through. Click, and all we should have to do now is put in a single cardboard box, which we have some ready. Here we go. And it's gonna go in, and it should pop right back out. Partial landscaping materials are what we're currently on. Let's watch it enter the chest. It was quick. All right, so this has to go around 250 whole times. So I think we'll have to come back to this in just a few minutes. I want to show you the most cursed thing that I have ever found in Minecraft. Take a look at this. It's an iron golem, but he looks like a villager. He's even got pants on. And a super buff chest. We got normal villagers. An omega golem villager. It has become abundantly clear to me that this is just not fast enough. So I made 4 more water wheels. We should at least be able to double the speed with that. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Okay, it's not very pretty, but I expanded it out 2 more on this side and 2 more into the wall. So they should all be at 320. So let's go ahead and see if we can speed this up any. Okay, so I realized I really should have done something there. We should have come up here and taken this out, because what happened is, luckily we didn't destroy this thing, but it started running backwards and then it shot off over here. So when we go to replace it, we'll have to know exactly where to put it. The next one is deploy turf, and then dandelion. So we want to make sure that it skips these two and starts there. Also, what is the sound that's happening outside? Oh, we want to capture that guy. So many enemies! Eat Squid the Angry. Come on. Get him in the bottle. He's hurting himself. Gonna kill me. Hold up. We gotta regen a second here. Then we're gonna go back out there and try to get him again. Come on. I got him. Okay, so he's a named guy, so he should actually drop something unique. However, he's a Basal's, and we can actually create a Basal's bee. If we have a blaze bee on its pollen, we'll convert the Basal's into the bee form, and this would actually let us create Basal's honeycombs to get these Basal's shards. So this was actually kind of lucky to find, as long as it works on the named guy. Alright, so we were able to speed it up by 1, but not by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these bits again. If I put this one there, we see that we are actually going the wrong direction, so we don't want to do that bit. So if we look, right, this one is spinning counterclockwise, and we don't want that to happen. So if we just go ahead and remove those out of there, we should be able to do that there, and then put a belt on to get this to go clockwise. Aha, we are now going the correct direction. And we have sped this up at least, 2 times faster than it was just before. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Just return all my items, get our partial landscaping material, deploy turf, dandelion. Right there. Come on. Uh-oh, why can't I right click it? Can I just drop it? There we go. I just had to drop it. And how far are we? We have 60 turns left. Oh, actually, hold on. These are no longer even. These ones are at 60, 61, 58. Okay. Let's pause this if we can. I'm gonna try and grab it out of the chest. Okay, oh, jeez, we got it. I didn't see it down there. We need to correct this. 57, 59, 58, 58. Okay, so we need to pull this one out. Make it 58, like these ones, and then we gotta put the extra one in here, which we could do easily like that. Let's go back and check on our craft. I don't see it going around, so we should hopefully see it in here. Landscaping materials. All right, this is fantastic. Okay, so we're actually almost at our 10,000. We're at 9,456 treated wood, but we have everything that we need in order to do the other craft. Let's get the other one ready, and we need to get all of this concrete out. Start putting it away. Let's go ahead and pick this up. Foundation materials. We need to separate the concrete into 3 even stacks for the first 3 chests. Okay, the next thing is the steel scaffolding. That all goes into this chest here. And then we have the clinker bricks in the last two. Let's not forget the filter again. We need to make sure that this is set for the foundation materials, specifically this one here. In it goes. Filter back on, and that should be it. We should be able to put our cardboard box in and see this process work again. Perfect. Now this one has to run 500 times, not 250, so this is going to take a little bit longer. Okay, we're going to try and use that basalts right now and our blaze bee to turn it into that bee, okay? Now, I am worried because we saw that the basalts, okay, it does seem to have an AoE sort of move, so it might actually kill our blaze bee. I've taken this blaze bee out of our apiary. It should already have the pollen dripping from it, so hopefully when we place it in over here, it's going to navigate just over here to the closest hive, which means it would pass over our basalts, which will be in there. If for whatever reason it doesn't work, I did make an extra magma cake so we could get more pollen on the bee if needed. So step one is I don't think we want this thing to see us, so we're going to try and get this over here in that space. Oof. Okay, it took some damage. I didn't like that. Let's see if we can make it big. Oh man, is he big. He doesn't see us though, so he shouldn't be aggressive, which means our bee should hopefully be fine. Again, I don't know if this will work with a named guy. It'd only take the bee a few moments, I think, to find the hive that's over there. We can see he's clearly trying to leave out this hole. The bee really doesn't want to leave this gap alone. We could try picking him back up and then placing him over here and see if it just automatically works, right? So we're just going to place it right there. Guys, I think it worked. Basal's bee, right there. This is perfect. Let's go ahead and scan it with our Beepedia first. Maybe we're not quite close enough. We should be able to jump in here now. Sol's bee. Obtained. Okay, now I'm going to replace our bee back in here. He's going to find his hive. Perfect. He's happy and safe. The basal's bee, let's go ahead and take a peek. It needs an earth slime cake, which is actually really easy to get. Tall slimy grass, sugar, chicken egg, and then slime buckets, which we can get the slime from just melting slime in the smeltery, which is totally cool. Our real problem is that all of our apiaries here are totally full up, so we're gonna need to expand somehow. And I haven't fully decided if we're gonna like make this building larger or if we're gonna make like a secondary building that's maybe slightly offset and still route the items in here. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm not gonna expand it this episode. Not at all. So please give me a comment. While we're waiting for our sequence assembly crafts, let's go ahead and do one more like fun thing. I have a soul gem here in which I caught a named mimic. So we're gonna release it out there and I'm hoping it can't make it through this hole. Odds are, if this thing hits me, it's a single hit KO. So actually, let's go ahead and put our netherite chestplate on. But I don't think it's gonna save me even if we got hit. See if he can make it through the hole. Okay. His name is, or her name is Jillian. And it's dead. What the hell did we get? We got ourselves a superstitious hat. Applies an extra level of looting to killed entities. That's pretty cool. We also got this shield of Phalanx 2 and Mending. Neat. Let's see what this thing looks like. It looks kind of dumb. Let's turn it off. Oh, and I totally didn't even notice, but we also got Jillian's Vampiric Truncator of Latent Magic of Divinity. Crazy looking axe with fire aspect 3, efficiency 7, knockback 3, and capturing 5. Capturing, let's go ahead and take a look at capturing. We haven't talked about this at all. We haven't really needed to. Capturing 5 is the top level of that book and makes mobs have a chance to drop their spawn egg. Look at that. So with the spawn egg, we could, of course, just right-click and spawn them. But you can also use spawn eggs in, I think, empty spawners to set them. Our foundation materials has now completed, so now all we have left are the building materials. And, look, we have our 10,000 treated wood, 2,500 copper shingles, 500 framed glass. That's not right. We need 2,500 framed glass. Let me go make that real quick. Alright, that was a bit of a grind. We have 1 extra framed glass left over, and we'll just double check that everything is even. So what we're looking for, they should each have 2,500 of these items in their chests. So they should have full stacks all the way up to here, and we should see a number 4 in the final spot. And we do. They're all full. And don't forget, right, there is still a full hopper, and then the dropper, or the deployer itself also still has a full stack in it as well. So we double check that this has a 1 on it. We already know that we added the correct building materials list on here. So all we should have to do is put our 5 cardboard boxes in here. They should be going out one at a time. There it goes. We just need to wait for 500 cycles, and we should have 5 complete things, and then we will be able to complete the first of the 3 quests here. We have now finished the quest. Let's take a look in our box here. 1 landscaping materials, task complete. 1 foundation material, task complete, and then the 5 building materials. Take a peek at our quest here. Building materials, this quest is now done. No rewards. So what's next, right? Well, we have construction tools. If we take a look at our construction tools, this one is only a 5 sequence, so it should be much simpler. However, let's take a look at the stuff we need to make. We need pneumatic jackhammers, 5 of these, diamonds, pneumatic cylinders, pressure tubes, and plastic. Most of this stuff we can buy from villagers, except for the plastic, but we should have plastic ready, I think. So this one doesn't seem too bad. We just need 5 of them. Compressed iron drill bits. This takes lubricant and compressed iron. Again, this should be pretty easy to make. The bandage, on the other hand, might be a little more tricky. We need drops of glycerol. In order to do this, we're gonna need to have ethanol and plant oil, or vegetable oil. So I think we're gonna have to create a system to make these. And you know, we may actually want a permanent system that makes these. So that's gonna be something we need to investigate. Coming back out, the engineering student Niels. This one actually has me a little frightened. I thought we were gonna be able to get these done quick and easy, but this is actually 60 times, not crazy 500 like the building materials, but let's just take a look at this. We need builder's tea, and in order to make builder's tea, we gotta create the tea in a mixer, any kind of leaves, water, and milk. So we might, either we're gonna have to gather a whole bunch of this manually, or we're gonna wanna have a automated system for milk gathering and whatnot, which we don't have any like sort of animal automation going yet. We come back out, we have vegetable curry. This needs curry. So we have to create curry with cumin, ginger, and peppers, not the habaneros, they're rare. We also would need some kind of vegetable to go in here, and then rice, which we do have rice. We probably have enough stockpiled already for this. We also need mango habanero wings, and these are chicken wings, right? They come from chicken, which we have to cut on a board. I'm kind of curious if we can automate this. My only thought so far has been the pneumatic drones. We might be able to automate something with them on this, so we might take a peek into that. Coming back, we have habaneros, the more rare of those, and then mangoes, which come off of a tree. We then have plum pudding. Again, it's mostly the same kind of stuff. And then finally, an enchanted golden apple, which we have 2 options with. We could either go this way and we have to automate crafting all these potions, or I think this is the way we actually go. We go to the alloy kiln, and we have to get honeyed apples and arcane gold blocks. Well, we already know how to make the arcane gold, right? If we take a peek here, this is gold, enchanted ash, redstone, and soul shards in order to make the arcane gold. And then honeyed apple is just honey and apple, and we actually have plenty of honey in the block form right now. So I think in our next episode, we look into this, how we're gonna be getting drops of glycerol, and if we can easily create systems to do this, then we will make the construction tools bundle probably in that episode. And then we're gonna begin looking into how we can start getting some food automation going. But for now, we are over time. So I really appreciate everyone joining for this episode, and this is Merc Serene signing off.